Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're back to discuss Celtic again as we head to Dens Park this weekend to face Dundee, and what's put simply a win or bust game for Celtic. Obviously, we've not really been on the channel recently. I've just had far too much to do to try to with uni and stuff like that. So once that kind of gets out the way, we'll try and upload a lot more regularly. Obviously, going into the summer, but there should be a lot to talk about considering how big a
Oh,
summer
the
it is
better
going.
be.
Hi, how big a summer it is going to be for Celtic. So that's just why we've not been as consistent with uploads. But as I said, once everything's kind of sorted with uni and stuff like that, then we'll get back to more regular uploads. But Alistair, we're back after that national break to talk about Celtic. I don't really want to, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's just where I'm at with Celtic at the moment. I generally can't be bothered with them, to be honest. It's just this season, I just want it to end.
It's got that feel about it, Josh. I can't lie. I mean, don't. I'll tell you where I'm at. Where as long as we're in it, I'll be engaged. But if we lose, the more I'll kind of shut myself off. Certainly in the league games, to be honest with you. I'll still go because I paid for them. But at the end of the day, I'm a bit like you, mate. I think this season's cursed, to be honest with you. Obviously, hope no. And and I would love to say I see Celtic. I think a League One is improbable at this stage. It's
Aye.
so it's so unlikely. It's unreal.
I think that I don't know if you agree with this, but it's not unlikely for me because you hear this phrase, "Oh, we still need to win on every single game" and all that sort of stuff. But there's no evidence to say this Celtic we are rubbish.
Where's the
I'm sorry.
goals coming from?
Aye, we've got a front line that is, in my opinion, the worst I have ever seen. I'd like to actually know your opinion on it because you've obviously followed Celtic a lot longer than what I have. We'll come into it in a minute because I actually want to discuss that. We've got a front line, in my opinion, that is the worst we've ever seen. We have got players that are just not good enough for Celtic, and obviously the injuries and stuff. I'm starting to actually ask questions about medical teams. I'm just asking questions that I see every single week about this club decision making from through this whole season has just been so strange, and you know that unfortunately for us, that's the reason why, as we record this, we're sitting third in the league.
I'm comfortably third as well.
Aye, so it's I think a League One will not happen. I don't, and I hate to sound defeatist, but I'm only commenting on what I'm seeing in front of me, and there's nothing to tell me that we can go out and get a result. I'm worried about tomorrow's game if we can get a result.
I'm worried about every game, Josh.
Aye.
Because see, to be completely honest, Negrin is my top goal scorer by a million miles. And now, if you think about it, there's nobody, and I include Negrin in this, that you can hang your hat on to bail you out.
No.
I mean, people will go back to Ronnie Dyle's second season. You had Griffiths, you had Commons, you had James Forrest, you had
Even maybe your Hansen, maybe if you go.
I agree, yeah. And the Benjamin Negrin is there actually, Hansen. Funny you bring him up. But I just feel, and that was a question I was going to ask him. Remember I said I was going to ask a question? I think this Celtic team would cure a lot of its problems if they sorted the forward line out. You know what it's good as your strikers. at the end of the day, if you've no strikers, how are you expected to win a league?
Especially Celtic. We've had worse teams, as you've mentioned. Dyer's teams stick out for me. We've had worse sides. Where
Okay.
we've had a forward line. We've had, Griffiths. Even in Dyer's first season, Guidetti, he wasn't great, but he chipped in with some goals. You had players like that. You don't got anything like that now, and it's just, as you said, you're only as good as the forward line. The forward line at Celtic just now is absolutely
Well,
pathetic.
with that goal scoring strikers at Bolton, there's your
Aye.
case in
There you
point.
go. It kind of just sums it up, to be honest, where we're at this moment in time. But I mean, I look at it and go at that, as you say, there's no match winners. I look at when Ange Postecoglou came into the club first season, the squad was in bits, right? Because players were leaving and players were coming in. But see, to get him through the first few games, he knew the team would
He
probably only
used
got to be.
he used that, even though he knew they were gone, he still used them.
But it's not even that. But the two players that brought in, the two players that came in, were two attackers and Abada and Kyogo, and they two got him through that kind of early spell where he was under a lot of pressure, allowing him time to bed in, bring in Jota and Giacomakis and other players, Starfelt, Vickers, players like that, to get the kind of core of their team together. They two attack, and that's how vital an attack can be for a Celtic team. I always said, I think, and I don't think it would have cured everything this season because I think there's been a lot of issues, but it would have went a long, long way in the summer if when we sold Adamida. Now I wasn't Adamida's biggest fan, right? But when we sold Adamida, if we had an out and out replacement ready to go, who was good enough, I think Celtic would have still been in a title fight. I'm not saying
Aye.
Celtic would have went and won the treble because they've got a decent centre forward. There's other problems, but our chances of winning this league title would be a lot higher than what they are now.
Because let's be honest, Josh, and this might come across a wee bit disrespectful. All Celtic should need to win the Scottish League is a half decent defence, a midfield with legs in it, and a bit of aggression, and a
We've
forward
got
line
none.
that can score goals.
We've got
We've not
none of
got
that.
any of the three.
The midfield, and I hate doing this because who he is, and we've got Callum McGregor who looks done. We've got Real Hatate, who he's been all right the kind of last few weeks, but we don't need all right. We need somebody who's going to, he's going to, get us out of this situation. He's clearly going to leave in the summer. We've got Negrin who, I don't know how you can describe him as a player because he comes up with the goals
He
and
needs
God
to
knows
link up with a striker, and we don't have a striker.
God knows how it would be without Negrin, but his overall play, you wouldn't even think he was playing half the time.
I mean, see if, let's be honest, Taneke and Negrin are going to the World Cup. Right? God knows how, but they are. Right? So if they have a half decent World Cup and we get bids, is there anybody you'd put golden handcuffs on in
No,
that squad?
no.
Not one for me.
No, I would never. No golden. Somebody I wouldn't use the phrase. "Oh, we can't sell him."
And that's what I meant by golden
I know
handcuffs.
exactly what you meant, but so then that's the problem. We've got nothing in this team where you can go at that. Use the phrase "build the team around them." Build it like see we used to use the phrase "build the team again around O'Reilly." Because he was the main part of the team. Aye, we've none of that.
Aye.
And that's the biggest thing. We've got none of that. We've got no star quality in this team at all.
And I know the Celtic board don't like to hear this, and this is the one positive I will cling to, Joy. We're going to have to spend money because we don't have a team. We don't have a team.
Exactly. But you know what they'll exactly do? A big bid will come in for Arne Engels or sell in, they'll go at, right, take us 10 million, that's a rebuild.
No, take more than 10 million.
I wouldn't put it by the Celtic board anymore. I genuinely wouldn't. They've shown they don't care, and I'm not even going to get into that rant about the Celtic board because we know what's there ahead of the
No,
summer.
use it as an example. So.
I know. But then on the Arsenal break, you're thinking, right, Johnson will be coming back. He goes to Canada, he gets injured.
Pulls up in training.
Like, I don't get this.
Why is he on a flight to Canada?
Right.
For a friendly?
My first main question is, why is he training with Canada before training with Celtic?
Aye.
Celtic clearly sanctioned it.
Well, obviously.
So, what is scripted?
I get it might be Canada's captain, but who cares?
No, you train with your club before you go across the world. Try to fucking. I don't. That just doesn't make sense. I mean, come on, man. And I think somebody said I seen put that it was team bonding, but I'm like, the guy's just back for an injury.
Aye.
You know, it's just another decision with this club that just makes you quit. And there's been just far too many of them these days. But it's just a decision a club makes. This club makes it just makes you question who's actually if they've got a brain.
They're just going round in circles, bad decision after bad decision, and it's snowballed.
No, definitely.
When it snowballs, you get a 6-away season, which is what we're currently going through. And actually, and I will say this, so it's a minor miracle we're still in with a chance. Not a very good chance, but a chance.
No doubt at all. But and I'll keep saying this, but it was Brendan Rodgers' fault. Remember, Rodgers' fault. But anyway, I genuinely
still. About the three managers. All three of them were set up to fail.
And people might think, why do you keep mentioning that? I just can't get my head around that. I'd like to have a real way to get my head around
that. That statement was borderline barbaric.
I was
allowed to use the club website to do that because, contrary to popular belief, Dermot Desmond is not the owner, folks.
Aye, and it's just, I mean, honestly, the problems that they've stemmed for the start of the season, they've stemmed for Almaty, they've stemmed for when they sold players like Adam Eder, didn't replace him, sold Nicholas Kuhn, didn't replace him, and then when they did eventually replace them, they replaced them with absolute garbage.
Josh, this is where a bit of hindsight. Do you know what they should have said? After the Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen, sorry to bring that up, but they should have said to Rodgers, he's staying. And if he was humming and hawing, they should have said, right, well, we can't plan going forward. So you're either sign a contract or you're leaving. See this waiting to a player or the managers in these last year's contract. Never been a big fan of it.
See, to be honest with you, right, I get your point, right, but that's why you have a proper structure in place. So you stick to a belief. You get managers that I'm with that belief. Realistically, you don't want a lot of your managers doing the recruitment.
No.
Because you should already have scouting lists and you should already have players in mind that suit the style of the football club. Club Bruges, you've had this, all the kind of Dutch and Portuguese clubs. They go through managers, different managers like that. But they keep going and they keep going and they keep, because that's what any good modern club operates. Don't get me wrong, I know managers need to bring their players in. I completely understand that. But, this is what get into the summer. We're also talking about, the time. The structure, the structure at Celtic is going to really have to change. There was a bit obviously on, there's been stuff talking about the structure, because I was going to come on to this as well. Obviously, there's been a bit about the structure, there's been talks about a meeting within between Dermot and Martin O'Neill to maybe discuss, if Martin would want a kind of role in the club going forward. Martin O'Neill kind of talked about it in his press conference, basically said they don't want to be the manager again. We already knew this sort of stuff. There's been obviously talk about maybe a director of football kind of role. At the time when we spoke about it first, I was a bit like, right, but I've kind of just been like, it's better that I'm at the point now where it's like, right, anybody but a lawyer or an accountant trying to deal with football matters, I'm happy with.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that listens to this podcast what I think of Martin O'Neill, right? So I wouldn't be against it, Josh. Basically because I think, and Ryan118 said this, he said, there's not enough football guys in that board. Now, Martin O'Neill, whatever you think him, I know he's 74, but we definitely need a buffer between manager and board, clearly. We certainly need a football guy to make football.
We need somebody that's going to go in and tell that board, and this is my only if about it. Is he going to be the guy, you talk about that link between the board and the manager. See if the board are being assholes, is he going to go in there and go like that? No, come on, use like this is not how real football operates. I've got my doubts, I'm not going to lie, but
George, before we move on to the preview, and I'm going to say this to you. At the end of the day, I honestly think we need somebody as a go-between, and I get because of the closeness between Martin O'Neill and Dermot Desmond, I get that suspicion, but I do think he's enough of a football guy to know that that's kind of going. I mean,
he said that. He said that. I mean, I don't know if you remember. He said that a few months ago. He says, basically said this club need to get their act together in the summer. And he said a lot of things need to change at this club. No, he is. He's not wrong. And he said a lot of things need to change at this football club.
But the most salient thing he said was, we need to remember, we're still a big club and we need to start acting like it.
That's the thing. I don't know how many managers they needs to say that before they start acting like that. Rodgers said it. Ange Postecoglou said it. Probably Lennon had said it over the years.
Every manager said it since Martin O'Neill left. Even Stratton said it.
So how many managers do they need before they react?
They're set in their ways, that's the trouble.
Aye, and it is, and that's when, people are talking about changing the summer, and, I know it's great, and I hope we get change as well.
But I'm going to make a prediction. They'll do what they always do. They'll bring in a new manager, and you know what's coming here, John. They'll back him to an extent for a year. Let's just say 2 windows. A bit like Ange, right? Because we all agree Ange Postecoglou's best window was the first 12 months. Ironically, when a certain chairman wasn't there, an ex-chairman now, and Don Mackay was left to actually run a football club. I wonder if I'll catch on. But I'm going to say this. I'll back him for a year and then we'll get the same. I've seen this movie so many times.
But the thing is, they can't keep banking on that. Because I'm sorry, the Scottish football landscape's changed now. Celtic have been exposed. And I don't want to give Hearts and Rangers credit, but they've been exposed because there's actually competent owners who have come into Scottish football and have shown Celtic up for what they actually are. They're a club that is stuck in, the Stone Age.
They're in the analog age in a digital world.
And, I always said as soon as, another club in this league get competent owners, Celtic would be showing up, and that is exactly what's happened. So, and so it's not just about backing a manager now. It's about fundamental change at this football club in terms of getting the fucking fundamentals right at this club, because it is broke. And it's gonna people you really start to realise in the summer how broken this football club actually is.
Well, it needs a complete reboot.
And that's what I'm saying. It's took two owners to come out of Scottish football, and the 49ers at Rangers and the Tony Bloom at Hearts, to completely show up this Celtic board and show them what they actually are.
And here's the thing: you sell Engels, which I think we all know that it's happening, right? You sell Engels, you sell all the assets. Then what are you going to do? Because their recruitment clearly hasn't been good enough.
This whole the fundamental change at football club. It's not going to be done in one summer.
No.
This, and I'm not even exaggerating. This could be years of damage. Years of damage to fix.
I believe it was Gary Neville that said if you hear a bad window, it takes 3 or 4 to fix.
Aye, it does. Always and that's when you look at Hearts and Rangers. We've had four bad windows, and we've allowed teams to catch up with us because of the bad windows, right? And even within that, Rangers haven't had great windows either at times, but they've still been able to catch us due to the sheer, incompetence at the club and how we've kind of been run. But I look at it and go, this club it's not just about recruitment and backing a manager now. The club, from different things, recruitment being probably the main thing, is absolutely done. It's broken.
Let's be honest, Joyce, as well. You're going to have to be patient with a new manager.
See in the summer after the COVID season, right? The problems were there to see again, but they got lucky because they brought a manager in who was able to, he was able to use his own recruitment and the Japanese market, whatever.
That's what we need again. Let's be honest.
But who's out there that's got to do that? And that's the thing, because I think if we did get something like that again, it's just doing more harm to the football club.
Because what happens when he goes?
Exactly. So
again.
And I'm not saying I don't want Celtic to get the best manager there is. Of course I do, right? But at the time when Andrew was appointed, I'm not going to say people didn't criticise the problems, because they did, right? But they didn't. I don't think they realised how, because Andrew made it all. Aye, they didn't look under the bonnet probably how big we thought we were going to, because of, after the COVID season, because Ange came in and there was that instant connection there. But we're back in the summer again. I don't think the Celtic board are going to get away with this.
No.
Because this is the second time they've done it.
Do you want my honest opinion, Joyce? I think Nicholson, his position's untenable.
But who are they going to replace him with? It will just be somebody else. The rumour is some other, I don't know, I did see some rumours about somebody who's coming in. He's fucking pals with Michael Nicholson.
Is that the PR kind of guy?
Aye, so if he comes in and does what Michael Nicholson, we're just in the same situation here.
Aye, it's just an Alexis Mafia.
Aye.
That's what they're calling it. So, and it kind of, it's like you watch a Harry Potter film, they all go to Hogwarts, and half of them like each other, and half of them can't stand each other. That's Celtic Football Club.
I know, but it's the club at the moment is just problems after problems. But in terms of the game on Sunday, Alistair, obviously, last game we played was in Dundee as well. It was across the road at Tannadice. We lost 2-0 in a complete and utter embarrassment of a performance. We've no won at Dundee in Dundee this season. Obviously, up there earlier on in the season, we lost 2-0 under Brendan Rodgers. But lucky to be 2-0.
to my knowledge, Josh, and I stand corrected if somebody wants to put it in the comments. If we lose tomorrow, I don't think that's ever happened. You've ever went to a city and never won. In 4 games it'll be.
Well,
I
5 if we don't win.
No, I mean in Dundee.
Oh, sorry, 4 games. Sorry,
Uh,
no, you're right. No, and by the way, it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you
no,
that.
especially, especially, especially. I'm not wanting this to sound like an excuse, especially if the wind's blowing a gale and stuff like that.
And at the end
But
of the day, like you play in Scotland, you expect that.
I,
I
I'm
mean,
not making it an
no,
excuse. I'm just
I know
trying to
exactly
say,
what you mean.
well, whatever, whatever. But maybe help us because,
But the way I
to be
look at it,
honest,
Dundee
I
need
think Dundee's got a bit better forward line than us.
and you're probably not wrong there, actually, no, you're probably not.
Uh-huh.
But the way I look at it, Dundee need to play in the exact same conditions. So it's all about, as Martin O'Neill says, it's all about how you handle these conditions. We handled them terribly 2 weeks ago at Tannadice. We handled the pitch terribly as well. So the Celtic have got no excuses. As I says, I think no matter what happens tomorrow, I think we're out of tail race. But if we don't win tomorrow, it's confirmed. It's 100%. There's no chance.
Uh,
Whatever else.
well, I'm not going no more, so we'll be able to get the podcast up reasonably early. So I really don't think anybody, if we don't win no more, I don't think anybody's going to say we're still in a title race.
No,
I don't.
no.
I don't want to speak for people, but I think you're deluded. I think you're at
No,
the deluded stage of.
so Rangers won the day, so they currently sit top of the league.
Aye,
And I think now, is it 5 points ahead of us at the moment?
aye, 5 points.
Hearts go to Livingston tomorrow, where they should probably win, let's be honest.
Aye,
So then they'd be 5 points ahead. I think, no, sorry, 8 points
aye,
ahead.
aye. They'd be well by the time we
You're
kick
on
off,
61.
because they kick off at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're at 4:30, right? So by the time I think they'll beat Livingston.
No, they should.
Um, um, I think they'll beat Livingston. But what I'm going to say is we're going to come out that tunnel at Dens Park being 8 points behind the leaders. 8 points.
Aye.
So with what 6 games to go?
Aye, the
Or
league's done. The
seven,
league's done.
seven.
The league's done.
So
That's kind of my conclusion. We don't win, the league's done. And
aye,
I'll come on.
we need to win 7 out of 7, Josh.
And I think, and I don't think, and that's why I don't think we'll win the league. 'Cause I don't think we'll do that. I don't think we're capable of doing that because
I
we
don't
get a
think
win.
I don't think we've got a forward line to do that
Aye.
from the start.
But we get one decent win against Motherwell, and I was like, maybe then we get that. That's just been the story of the season.
You think this? I'm not tossing it in, Josh, but as I said to
It's just
you,
being realistic here, man. It's a bit of realism.
I mean, I'm not got. I mean, there's none me, Josh, and Liam would love more than to be wrong on the last day. And by the way, we'll even put if we win this league, it'll be the sweetest, but it'll be the most unexpected league in the club's history.
This might come across a bit controversial for me, right? But it would be the sweetest for us in terms of fans, but it would just send another
I'll
message
let
to the
the
board.
board after
They'll just sit there and go, well, we didn't need to
this
spend
will
money.
be.
We didn't need to spend money. We still win the league. Happy days.
I think even if you believe that I'm not being disrespectful, but I think you need to be in a psyche ward somewhere.
Well, maybe I need to go then because I genuinely do. I genuinely do. I think that's how they're thinking.
Well, Oh, I mean, no doubt they'll think that.
And then see in the summer again, they'll fucking asset strip again until eventually we don't win the league. I want us to win the league, of course, but I just look at it and go at that. They'll look at that as well, we're
You're
absolutely
kind of,
rubbish.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth here, Joy. You're kind of, if it takes losing the league to get no severe change, because we've been pretty consistent.
I
Whether
just
me and you
just
want
I just
Ma-
want behind the scenes to change. I want Celtic to start operating like a proper football club. And I'm
whether me and you want it, Dermot Desmond's not going anywhere.
no right. Forget about Desmond because if we don't, I think people think if we don't win one league title, or Desmond will be out and like, oh fuck this. But I'm at the point. See if we do lose the league and it gets us at least some sort of change in terms of recruitment, in terms of the way we do things. I'm sorry, I would take it.
You're no wrong. You're
Aye.
no wrong.
So that's what I was trying to say. Instead of trying to kind of go about the point about it, I would, to be honest with you, because this Celtic board don't deserve to win a league title. Us as fans do, but this Celtic board don't. And I don't want
Let's-
them in the summer
let's
to
be
turn around and
honest,
go, oh well, what was all moaning about? It's fine.
Let's be honest, though. 8 defeats in the Scottish Premiership
It's terrible.
does not deserve to win a league title. If we want to be honest, out of the three teams, Josh, only one team deserves to win it.
Hearts.
Aye. That
So-
pains me, but
It's the truth.
aye.
It's the truth, and it's the fact that this Celtic team, in my opinion, is the worst I've ever seen.
Aye.
I would say it's the worst I've ever seen. The stats tell you the records are breaking. First time since the John Barnes era, we're sitting on 8 defeats, and that was 8 defeats all season for John Barnes in that season. We could beat that.
Well, do you want me to be honest, Josh? We lose the Mora. Who we beating after the split? Because
I think it's
we
harder
could be in the verti collapse.
because after the
It's
split,
not
you're
collapsed
realistically
already.
looking. You need to go to Falkirk away, right? I think we've played them at home twice.
Falkirk
Right.
and Easter Road are the
Falkirk, Easter Road, maybe Fir Park.
two.
Not 100% sure on that.
I think we're due 3 home games. So I
Right,
don't
so,
know what way they're going to work it.
Right, aye. But anyway, we're going to need to go to tough grounds away. We're also going to need to play Hearts and Rangers at home.
Who we've no beat this year.
I generally think, and I hate to be negative again, I generally think we could be in double figures for defeats this season domestically.
And I can't remember that happening. I'd need to
It'll be the
check.
first time in a long time where you look across that league column at losses in the end of the league season and you see double figures for Celtic. When the fucking last, I just said, you need to do research on that because fuck knows when it last happened.
I would be guessing, and that's as a guess, 89 after listening to the year. I think that would be, and we finished 6th that year, but Scottish football was stronger. That was 2 points for a 1 back in the days.
All right. But no, I mean, it is bleak. But what Celtic need to do, they need to go out there and they need to show they've at least get some sort of fight in them.
And if I see going through the motions again, I honestly think after being at Tannadice, I'll turn it off. I
I know,
can't watch that again.
It's just difficult to get up for Celtic games at the moment because you're just like,
There's
don't mean get
nothing
up out of my bed. I'm
for.
not lazy. I'm not a lazy cunt, but like I actually get up to go and watch them. I don't. I'm not in my bed at fucking 4 in the afternoon.
we should say it's a 4:30 kickoff.
Aye, so don't think I'm in my bed at fucking 4:30 in the afternoon.
Folk think it's a 12:30 or something, which it normally would be on a Sunday, but because of the FA Cup, there's 2 Scottish games.
No, but it's just they need to find a win from somewhere. Ideally, we need to find, and I don't just want a win. See if we want to scrape that 1-0, 3 points, but still be the same. They need to give
just
something where
kicking the cans in the road again.
they need to give something. They need to get and win by 4 goals for me.
Aye, right. And then you go, well, at least we've cut the goal difference.
They need to
in
go
a
out
bit.
and see this first half crap. See if we're now. See if we should be 1-0 by half time, minimum. See if it's 0-0 at half time, game's done. We'll probably go and lose.
Well, I'll tell you what'll happen. See if we are either getting beat at half time or we're drawing at half time, waiting the roof caving in because panic will set in.
I will, and then Dundee will probably nick a goal. But on that, to finish up, obviously the score predictions. Alistair, you can go first on this one.
Right, 2-0. 2-0.
2-1. I see
2-0
Dundee. The fact we even need to clarify that just shows you where we're actually 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1. Don't know where the 2 goals are coming from, but I do see Dundee scoring.
Yeah, I think to be honest, Josh, at this stage, I really couldn't care where the goals come from.
I know we need to just win.
I do hope on the Engels plays.
We need to just win and see what happens. But I just think even just a win is just kicking the can down the road, unfortunately, for me.
Well,
but no, we'll see what happens. I mean,
aye, and
that's all we can. That's John, honestly.
We're basically in the last rights of this league season, the more.
Aye, well, as I said,
if we can't get up for it, then
we don't win the more, the league's over. It's pretty simple, and I'll finish it on that. But no, I'm going to wrap up there. And as Alistair said earlier on in the video, we're back tomorrow for post-match reaction. Hopefully talking about a win, or probably talking about Celtic being at the title race. I'm hoping it's the first one because that's just. But we'll see what happens. But until next time, we'll speak to you later. And hail.
Hail.